commentating is my game, you know what I mean? But you know, sometimes you got to wait and see for the prophecy to be fulfilled. Stacy, come on up here, Stacy, so you can speak on that and some reminisce with this crowd, because this is history in the making. This whole thing, being at the MGM Grand, being here with all of these people that are here, and now you can't say nobody's too old, because you got Bernard Hopkins here that's a champion of the world at 50, so you got to say you have to take it in his stride. But Stacy, bring him up to date, man.
Well, it's good to be back here in the Grand. I want to thank Don King. I want to thank Golden Boy. And happy birthday to one of the greatest fighters ever lived. I love this man. And I was sitting there thinking about Amir. Amir is a young version of Bernard Hopkins. People wonder how could Bernard fight so late in his career? It's because he knew how to fight. You got fighters now that just throwing punches like Nagasaki Roebucks. They ain't got the skills and technique that most fighters once had back in the day, like Larry Holmes and a few other guys. But we're talking about Amir. Amir come to me about almost 3 years ago. And I was on the road with radio DJ Tom Joyner, making good money, traveling all over the world, jet setting and everything. But I took a look at this kid, and I said, you know what? I'm going to get off this jet, and I'm going to get down here in the gym, and I'm going to see if I can make this kid and help him out. And the first thing he said was, I'm not going back to Albany. I'm going to stay in Florida with you. So I took him, and I took the guys who used to train him, Jamel, and the young heavyweight. We all lived together. I said, now, the only way we're going to do this, we got to live together. We're going to train every day. They didn't argue with me. He stayed right there. He trains every day. All he does is train. Even in the mall when he's walking, he shadow boxing. He watched boxing 24/7. He wanted to be one of the greatest ever lived. Now, I want to tell you this. He got the name Young Master from Joe Gans. Joe Gans was a black fighter out of Baltimore, Maryland in the late 1800s. And he fought up into the early 1900s. And one writer said that you couldn't hit Joe Gans with a handful of rice. So they called him the Old Master. And this kid got the name the Young Master. Now, in order to be the master, you know the definition of the word master? Can somebody read that for me?
Master, one who has control over another person, group of persons, or a thing. One qualified to teach apprentices and carry on the craft independently. That's a master. That's the master.
So this is what we got right here. We got a young man that has the skills of a Ray Robinson. We got a young man that has the defense and the skills of Joe Gans. He also has the skills of Henry Armstrong. Now, you put those three together, there's nothing else left. And that's why they call him the master. He mastered all different styles of boxing. And you'll see that. A lot of people criticize me for some of the fights we put him in the last 3 or 4 fights. They say, well, you're going to overmatch him, and what you get is sensational knockouts. So you come Saturday night, you're looking at the future of boxing right here. This is going to be the future face of boxing. Boxing needs a superstar. Floyd and all those guys on their way out. They won't be around. So you got to have somebody replaced. They tried to do it with Adrian Bruner. He was looking for an opponent 2 fights ago. They called me. We took the fight. They turned it down. We tried to get Jesse Vargas. All these guys are 140 pounds, world champions, whatever. We don't care. We'll fight anybody at any time. Just make the match. That's all. And I say, he said, well, this guy's a southpaw. He doesn't care anything about southpaw. He fight any style. That's why he's the master. Just like this man here is the master. All right? Be right there Saturday. All right, on the merit.
I thought you needed that commentary so you'd be enlightened as to what it was transpiring. One of the things that really makes the big difference is the people of yesterday, my theme being yesterday, today, and tomorrow, they practice all the time, whether they fought or didn't fight. Some of the fighters of the day, you have to tell them what network you're going to be on, and if they ain't on television, they lay off and they go out in corrals and have fun, you know what I mean? And then when the fight do come off, they ain't prepared to undertake the task that's before them. You know what I mean? I have to say for Bernard, he's one that trained every day, because every day that was his trade, just as Picasso in painting, and as the great musicians that plays on the piano, you know what I mean? They practice and practice and practice and practice and never stop practicing, getting better and better and better as they go down the line. But that's what it takes. It takes your trade is putting on a show for the people, but at the same time using the best that God has given you in your skills and physical prowess. And that's what makes the difference for many fighters today from them of yesterday, like Larry Holmes and Bernard here that's sitting here. But Larry Holmes, it was inimitable, you know what I mean? That he had a piston-like jab, or like an air hammer that you see the guys in the street when they're knocking up concrete, you know what I mean? And so it's wonderful to see that type of activity. And when you undertake the task of doing that, that hard work pays off, you know what I mean, in the glory and in the acclaim and in the affluence. And so it gives you an opportunity to be a people's champion, and that's what we're seeking here at the MGM Grand, to start that development going on again. And we have a young heavyweight that's going to be fighting, you know, and the people in the arena get a chance to see him as, what's his name, Stacey? What is his name? All right, talk to me. Trevor Bryant. You know what I mean? So you have to look at him and watch him, make sure that the other thing we do. You know, so we make out there. And so it's a thing here that we're trying to bring on the yesterday's nobody to be tomorrow's somebody. You know, so that's why it's so important for me. You know, he's another one of the staples that we invest in time, effort, and money in this man's aspiration and dream. Follow your dreams. Tell us here.
How's everybody doing today? My name is Trevor, the Dream Bryant. I'm actually happy to be here. It's a great opportunity for me to be here as well. Fighting at the MGM, where lots of history has been fought here. Definitely to fight under this undercard of two great champions to be. I'm younger. I'm a young heavyweight coming up, following these guys right here. But definitely, I would definitely be the next one. It's Kale Cartel. Stacey McKinley has been training me for the past 3 years. Jamel, Masai Edie, and also my stablemate, Amir, Imam. We've been working hard. All we do is box. Like you said, when we in the mall, we getting fresh, we staying fly, we shadow boxing. This is what we do, we live this. So like I said, Saturday, you guys gonna definitely see the young heavyweight coming up. And like I said, it's Kale Cartel.
There you go.
In the spirit of Kerkorian, he always reached out to help those, you know, give him a lift, you know, the boost, and tell him go on a dream. He was an Armenian, and he said, look what I've accomplished. He was a pilot, you know what I mean, in the World War II or something, and he come up here and he was a boxer too, you know what I mean? He was a boxer. He was out there physically fighting, and then he developed into where I think you got Las Vegas now, Mr. Stern. I think, you know what I mean? Every one of them down the strip is almost yours, isn't it? Yes, you know, but always remember, Richard, Lord Acton says power tends to corrupt. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. So that's why I'm so glad that you handle things so even-handedly and, you know, with giving the chance to those who are unfortunate as well as those who are fortunate. Because somebody would have the country store, you know, and they used to break the script, you know what I mean? You always, 40 barrels or 40 more, it was the crops. You couldn't even call him a sharecropper, but it really was just working for the masters. This guy was seeing what it is. So it is just great, man, to see this type of development and you helping us to let them be seen on your stage, which is one of the most sensational stages in the world. You know what I mean? So it gives everybody an opportunity to see in the land of opportunity that there's still some good-hearted people there that's very, very wealthy but fair-minded too. So that's great. This is great, man. Oh, Trevor Bryant. Yeah. The shades of Larry Holmes. Trevor Bryant. Okay, now we're moving on down the line and we'll see what we got.